She was drafted 3rd overall in the 2022 WNBA draft and has quickly made an impact in the league. I'm talking about Shakira Austin, forward for the Washington Mystics, who also made history as one of 36 players in the inaugural season of Unrivaled. Shakira, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So let's go back to the beginning. What was it like growing up in Virginia, and when did you fall in love with basketball?
Yeah, basketball was always a part of my life growing up. My uncle played basketball. My dad pretty much trained and developed him. And, according to my dad, I wasn't a fan of it. So I played pretty much every single sport. And it pretty much came back around 7th grade. And that's really when me and my dad just started locking in, and I fell in love with it.
Can you talk a little bit about, your injury in 2023? And, we always hear that treatment is fast, but healing is slow. So how were you able to heal from that experience?
It was my first major injury. And, the recovery time initially was 4 to 6 months. And I'm still dealing with trying to feel like myself, almost a year and a half later. It's been a journey. I've learned a lot about myself, my body, my mind, and honestly just trying to find value in myself outside of basketball, because this has been really a big outlet for me.
Can you talk a little bit about what it was like playing in the Unrivaled League?
Yeah, there's just great players that you're surrounded with by every day. So it's definitely a great opportunity to just soak up as much as you can. I played with Nafisa. She was Defensive Player of the Year, 2nd in MVP, and she's really put a statement on her game these past couple seasons. And being around her and just learning from her daily habits, and having competitors like Skylar Diggins and Courtney Williams, Alicia Gray, they were just, honestly, great visual opportunities to just get better and just come in and figure out how can I bring what I'm learning to my team back in DC.
I know fashion and beauty are really important to you as well. So, how is that a sort of a bit of a more of an extension of your identity and who you are?
I taught myself how to sew a little bit, just watching videos. And, I've always had the dream of having my own clothing brand will feature tall girl, edition. So fashion is just something that you can express yourself with. I'm hoping to feature my brand hopefully next season. So Unrivaled might get a little bit of sneak peeks with that.
In one of your IG posts, you have a quote that says, "Do not judge me by my success, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." Why does this quote speak so much to the journey that you've been on?
Really, my whole life, I've been hit with challenges, hit with adversity. And as soon as you feel like it's becoming a brighter side and the storm is stopping, something else might come. That's just how life is. And for me, it's just about continuing to look forward, continuing to grow, and allow that adversity to shape who I am and who I want to become.
How do you balance your personal life with being a professional athlete?
It's kind of a constant battle of kind of that same question I had of who are you outside of basketball, and, focusing on that as someone who's been through an injury. You still want to chase your goals, you still want to have your dreams, but you also want to be present in your own life, and you also want to be present with your family and your friends.
We're all from Canada here cheering on Aaliyah Edwards, your Canadian teammate. What has it been like playing with her, and has she taught you anything about Canada, or is there any sort of Canada-isms that she brings, to the team?
Yeah, I actually have some Canadian syrup that she brought and gifted us on Canada Day, I think. But yeah, she represents, them really well.
It's been reported that the New York Liberty has a valuation of $450 million. How excited are you about the growth of the WNBA?
I would just love for every organization to reach that value. We have rookies that are continuously coming in every year and setting a new bar. I think that's extremely great for our league. And, we also have some veterans that we're going to give you that work. I hope we can continue to flourish in and have a little more positivity so that this can really be like a safe space.
So if you could play one-on-one with any player, past or present, who would it be?
Definitely Candace Parker. I tried to match my game similar to hers. You know, she's the most versatile post player that I've seen. And she just has that same competitive heart that I do. So I would love to go against her in my prime and in her prime. So
thank you so much, Shakira. This was a really fun interview. And I can't wait to get back out. I've come to Washington once before, and that's on my list to come back out again and see the Mystics play.
Please do. ESA is a great experience. So I hope to see you soon.